Hello everyone, my name is Kenan Musavi. I'm from Azerbaijan. I study in Vistula University Management Master Degree. And today I'm going to present my research about training employees and how this affects to the organizations or the impact of the employees training on the organization's performance. We can call it also like that. And my teacher, research seminar teacher, is Cameron Thompson. And today I'm gonna present you my presentation. Let's start. And as you see, I did this research. I have abstract, problem statement, interaction, scope, my questions, hypothesis, methodology, and etc. And let me talk about that a little bit, everything. And let's start with my title. My research seminar title was the training employees and how it affects to the organizational performance. And abstract, our abstract will be all organizations increasingly feel the need to change, and it came from several different factors and numerous, but an efficient way to manage these changes is continuously training employees. So this research aimed to survey the impact and the effectiveness of the training and the organizational performance. So moreover, in this presentation, we will observe the importance of the training to improve and enhance the performance of the organizations. It will also assess the strength of the link between the training and organizational performance. And in the further, we will study with recommendation for organizations and for the future researchers in this area. Let's talk about a little bit also the introduction, my research introduction. As you know, nowadays, many organizations try to grow. And this came from several factors. The competition is the determinant factor for determining success or not for organizations. In addition, consumers are looking constantly higher quality products and services. Also, technology is rapidly operates the importance, especially its practice. To turn these challenges above in the benefits and opportunities for organization should first of all to train its employees. So, from previous research, we found that HRM practices have an impact on organizational performance. Through such practices, the organization enables achievement of its objectives and advantage in gaining competitive advantages and other benefits. So modern human resource management should be oriented and emphasize that the contribution of an organization's overall in concern for its overall effectiveness. And normally this effectiveness needs to be improved because the environment is always changing. And so the goal of any organization is to improve its performance. In this sense, training is regarded as a key element to achieve this goal. And the effective training is useful in various ways. For example, playing a vital role in building and maintaining skills, both in individual and organizational level, and thus participates in the process of organizational change. Talk about also the aim of my research about the trainings in the international organizations. Actually, this is a little bit interesting because the aim of this research is that let's talk about a little bit also the aim of this research, and the aim for this research is to see the importance that has the training on the organizational performance, to evaluate the relationship between the training and organizational performance, also to develop recommendation for future research and for organizations. And these studies in this area, it will help also to employers to improve themselves for their future candidate. The scope of this study, I used some questionnaires, YouTube interviews, online interviews. I made meetings for these online interviews. Also, I used some websites, some open source informations, also so many interesting and very valuable books for this research. But mainly the research based on the questionnaires from the employers and employees, both sides. The problem statement about this research, we can talk about that more, and actually this is a key point in this research, because there are so many problems between about the trainings or in organizational organizations. So the first of all, so many organizations try to avoid from the trainings for their employees, because first of all, this is it needs money, and it means they need money for that, and it is a cost. And also sometimes it takes a time. For example, for the training for one employee, it takes maybe 1 month, and during this 1 month, this employee doesn't work properly, doesn't show his or her productivity 100%. So that's why it means less work for employees. And sometimes also you need more people, more trainers who is qualified to do that. And during this process, you have to hire someone, and you have to pay extra money, or you have to give a salary for that. But they have to aware about that. These trainings about the employees, it will come to them back very profitable, and they will save money in the future. But during the trainings, it's not possible to reduce the costs. The original contribution, the data was collected from different cities from Azerbaijan, from the employee and employers from the both sides. And during this data collection, we collected approximately 20 questionnaires. And actually, we collected 50 questionnaires, but 20 of we can use. I could able to just use the 20 of them, and further process for the next step. I just eliminated 10 of them, and I. My research based on the 10 questionnaires, because 10 questionnaires plus additional sources from the YouTube, from the online interviews, books, journals, newspapers, magazines. I try to do this research from every possible resource. And actually, and these 10 questionnaires, it was about there were some several questions, some several multiple choice questions, and also I used the online interviews who didn't able to participate in these questionnaires. And it was also an interesting process or procedure of this research. What's the theory of this research? Training employees in organizational organizations. There are so many benefits. There are so many impacts. When you train your employees, it will come back to you like 2 or 3 times more. But in the beginning, it's costly. It takes money. But as I said, after trainings, you can easily see, and you will actually able to see the result. How your work is going smoothly. How your how your process is very quickly. And actually, this is also sometimes that employees tries to make deep connections with your company, because they know they can get new trainings. They know they can stay here because you take care of them. Hypothesis. Actual hypothesis of this in research. We had 2 questions. The first question was: employees training does not have a significant positive relationship in the organizational performance. And the second question was that employees training has a significant positive relationship in the organizational performance. Actually, doing some research, collecting the data, analyzing them, and after this process, I could easily say this hypothesis, the first hypothesis, it's about employee training has a significant positive relationship in the organizational performance. It was proved, and I can easily say that the trainings 100% impacts to organizational profits. Methodology. I used questionnaires mostly in this part during my research seminar, and actually during the research seminar and in these questionnaires, I asked several questions from the employees and employers. It was about these questions. For example, do you have enough budget for trainings, or do you have enough time for give? Actually, not. Do you have enough time to give your employees to train themselves, or can you able to train your employees by your own? Also, do you have enough equipment? Do you have enough facilities to give trainings to your employees? Also, I asked from employees that would you like to participate in some trainings who will be sponsored by your employers. And also there were some questions about what do you think these trainings should be during your work hours, or it should be after your work hours, like overtime, or you want to just stay just 8 hours and you want to do just finish your works. And actually, what do you think about the trainings? Do you like to take trainings online, or do you like to take trainings offline, face to face? Would you like to take these trainings even not from your organization, from another open source outsource companies? And my questions were like that. And during this questionnaires, I collected all of those questions from different forums. And our questions are obvious. Is there any impact and effectiveness of the training organizational performance? It was our first question. And my second question was that, is the performance the key to the achievement of organizational goals? Limitations. Actually, I had some limitations during this research project, because first of all, I'm in Poland, and it was not easy to make these questionnaires from my country, Azerbaijan, because during these questionnaires I should send these forms online, and sometimes I got some feedbacks like it looks like it's scamming, or it looks like some data collections or something, and it was really not easy to convince the people, employers especially. And also my second limitation was about the time differences, because during this research project, time differences in between my country and Poland, it was 3 hours, and mostly employers and employees leaving job at 6 and 7 p.m. and it was already in Poland, it was 10 and 11 p.m. and that's why it was not easy to make online interviews, because they also after the jobs they got some jobs to do, and that's why it was not easy for me to make online interviews during this research project. And as a conclusion, as a result, to sum up, I would like to say that 100% it was proved from this research that training the employers, it impacts the organizational effectiveness and organizational goals positively. And second of all, I would like to say that trainings, train your employees. It can easily, you can avoid some costs in the future, like some experience in the future. You will need any experienced employees, but already you trained them. That's why you don't have to hire someone. You have it, you have him or her in your company. Also in the future, you will get so many feedbacks from your process, from about your jobs, because already you train your employees. And in the future, you will not needed to spend too much money. But in the beginning, yes, you will need to spend money, because you have to establish the main course, main project you have to start, and always it takes money and it takes time. And also train your employees. It will give you sustainability about your company, and loyalty also about your company. Also, it will make a good connection between your employees and between your employee and employers, because employees will trust you, employees will believe you, because they will see the progress in your company. They will think, okay, this company is going up because they are doing something positive about that, about us. And I would like to say, also talk about references. As I told in the beginning, I use too much books, websites, sources, but especially in this PowerPoint presentation, you will see some of them, because I used most all those. This one, Armstrong, Handbook of Personal Management Practice, Brain Good Code, for example, it was a good writer, and also Brain, once a prevention for workplace accidents. Also, I used the contribution of skills to business performance. For business performance, and also competitive advantage for other people at Harvard Business Schools. Also, some YouTube interviews I used as a reference. And thanks to all of these materials, because today I am able to present this presentation, I'm able to make this research, because they gave me really so big and so valuable ideas about my topic. And thank you very much for your time, for listening my presentation. Nice to meet you. And I hope if you have any question, if you have any doubts, please let me know. You can reach me from my university email.